I am running my business backwards, and I have no plan on fixing it. Look, I've been running my coaching program for a few years, and I know I'm doing it backwards. I have paid thousands of dollars for marketing and sales systems to learn about funnels and how to sell my products. And I've quit every single one of them. I've listened to and watched the gurus who have given me formulas like I help blank do blank so that they can blank. And I've tried to make my business fit into this little box, and I always fail to fill in the blanks. I have been told to pick one specific person at one place in their journey and do one specific thing to get them one specific outcome. But the problem is, I talk about too many different things. Look, I suck at creating content consistently. I struggle with perfectionism. I get bursts of motivation and create a bunch of content at once, and then I ignore my social media for weeks at a time. I hate email. I refuse to hit them where it hurts. And I teach too much. But I'm not going to fix this. And here's why. So in my coaching business, I do something invisible. I don't promise to teach you how to make $10,000 in 90 days. I don't teach you how to lose 10 pounds in 30 days. I don't teach you how to do handstands or find a boyfriend or quit your corporate job or do anything with a specific tangible outcome. And it has been difficult for me to describe what I do in one clear and concise sentence of 140 characters or less, especially without using all kinds of BS jargon. And sometimes it's even hard to do it in 3 paragraphs. So here goes. I help women who have experienced trauma, sexual abuse, sexual assault, domestic violence, narcissistic control, who are struggling with symptoms like anxiety, frustration, panic, overwhelm, and can't seem to regain control of their lives, who feel like they are losing their minds, going crazy, and can't find a way out. But I also help women who have been living from one crisis to the next for a really long time. And it seems like no matter how hard they try, they can't seem to get their together. They are struggling with shame, anxiety, lack of focus. They are exhausted and they're just trying to get ahead. And I also help women who are sick and tired of letting their trauma hold them back, who are ready to break through the invisible barriers that have been holding them back from living their dreams of running a business or achieving a really big goal, and who are ready to become the person they were meant to be before their trauma derailed their life. And on top of all that, I have a really big goal this year. I want to impact 10,000 women. So I have decided that I am going to teach my process to other women who are trying to help even more women do the things in their life and are struggling to get results because their trauma symptoms are holding them back. All the gurus tell me to pick one and help them. They tell me that the best way for me to grow my business is to choose one in the most pain and charge a premium price and promise them one specific outcome. They have told me to set a goal for how much money I want to make and then divide that number by how many clients I can help at one time, and that's how much I should charge. Now, that might be good marketing, but I don't believe that is good business. So I refuse to do that. Now, when I tell them I don't have an income goal, they tell me I'm doing it wrong. When I tell them I have a goal to impact 10,000 women this year, they tell me that's impossible with 562 Instagram followers and only 2 subscribers on YouTube. Hopefully it's gone up now by the time you see this. Anyway, I'm not a rebel without a cause. I'm not pretending that I know marketing or branding or that I'm some social media influencer. I'm not fooling myself into thinking that I know it all. But I do know my people. I know what it feels like to be in crisis mode, to not know which way is up, or to feel like you're losing your mind, going crazy, living on edge all the time, and desperate for a sense of control. And I also know what it feels like when that feeling passes and it starts to feel like you can breathe again. But then something in your world comes crashing down, and then there is this fear that it's going to be the thing that takes you down. And I know what it feels like to live from one crisis to the next, crying myself to sleep at night, wondering why the F does this keep happening to me, and desperately wanting something better for my life. But I also know what it feels like when you finally regain control of your life, and it feels like you are no longer at the mercy of fate, and when you are no longer triggered by the tiniest things, and that your life begins to finally reflect your dreams. And I also know what it feels like to teach this to other women and watch them break their barriers and live bigger and better lives, to finally feel like themselves, to feel like superheroes in their own story. But here's the thing. This outcome looks different for everyone. And sometimes these outcomes are invisible or impossible to imagine if you are just starting out in your healing journey. That's why I don't promise to double your income or that you'll lose weight or that you're going to fix your relationships. Because I know that all of these problems people are trying to solve are usually just symptoms of a deeper problem. Now, with my clients, that problem is universally known as trauma. I don't help you soothe your symptoms. I help you attack the problem at the root. I also know that people in the deepest pain often have the least amount of resources. But as a coach, I know this is where I can make the biggest impact. So I do it backwards. That is why my services cost more the less you need them, but the more you want them. All right, I'm going to say that again. I charge more for programs that help you reach your goals and less, or sometimes zero, for programs that are designed to help you get out of pain. Yes, this is ass backwards from everything we have been taught about marketing and business, and even personal development. And it may be why you have bought into someone's promises of rainbows and unicorns, only to wind up broke and feeling broken. Now, in my experience, people who are struggling with the most severe symptoms, who are still in the aftermath of crisis, might feel the most desperate for relief, but also often have limited resources. Many lack money, but also often lack time and emotional energy or mental bandwidth. So charging them a premium and delivering an onslaught of information, trying to get them to see the bigger picture and giving them exercises and homework for days does not work. It would be unethical for me to take their money and tell them, okay, now you have all the tools, go make it happen. They aren't ready to receive this. In fact, I believe that this is one of the pitfalls of therapy. I once got into a debate with a cognitive behavioral therapist who argued with the statistic that CBT fails over 70% of the time for traumatized adults. And that statistic comes from a therapist, Bessel van der Kolk. Now, her defense was that it works if you do the work. But my entire point was that people coming into therapy with ingrained trauma aren't always ready or able to do the work. And oftentimes they end up leaving feeling deeper despair and shame. Now, as a coach, I have a different mindset than that particular therapist, and I'm sure many others who mean well, but have been taught to operate within a very specific protocol. I feel that it is my job to meet you where you are at and leave no woman behind. So I've always found it interesting that it is common to say, I go to therapy, as opposed to, I have a coach. Now, the distinction seems minor. However, I think that this illustrates my point pretty well. As a coach, it's my job to meet you where you're at and find the right tools that you can work with. For me, it's because I have not only walked in your shoes, I've actually run that marathon, and I know where all the potholes are and the hills, and also where the finish line is. And I know you have to take it one step at a time. Simply put, I get you and I've got you. That is why 87% of my coaching is actually free. This YouTube channel, my blog, my social media, podcast interviews I do, and I even offer free support calls to anyone who needs it. And no, these are not just sales calls in disguise. All of the resources are designed to meet you where you are at different stages in your healing journey. Now, all that being said, I do sell things. I do run a business, and I am so grateful to make money helping women overcome their trauma and reach their full potential. Look, I offer products with low barriers to entry, ranging from $27.99 to $249, like books like my Resilient AF book, or workshops, and I run group programs to make it accessible to as many people as possible. But I also sell high-ticket one-on-one coaching as well as retreats that range anywhere from $2,500 to $12,600, where you get direct access to me and we draw a straight line directly to your goals, and we don't stop until we get there. My purpose on this planet is to help you become yourself minus trauma. And we start where you are at, and we don't stop until we arrive. So yeah, this is backwards from anything you've ever been taught about business. But I'm not in the business of making money. I'm in the business of helping people. Now, if you're interested in any of my programs, there are links in the description below. And if you want more information and very cool videos on some touchy-feely super science, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon and check out this other video over here.